Dave's Fried Chicken Picks! Dave's Fried Chicken Picks!
Everyone, welcome to week 8 of Dave's Fried Chicken Picks. Last week I went 11-3. It was a great week for me. And considering the Browns upset the Saints and the San Francisco 49ers couldn't hold on against the Carolina Panthers, I'd say 11-3 was a great week. Today, I'm eating Chick-fil-A. A new Chick-fil-A opened up like literally 5 minutes walking from my house, so I couldn't not eat Chick-fil-A today. Some of the top stories from this week include Randy Moss's trip back to Foxborough. How will the wide receiver react, and how will the Patriots crowd react to his reappearance in New England? We'll find out. Also, Brett Favre fractured 2 bones in his ankle. So, will he play, or will Tavares Jackson get the start, and Brett Favre's continuous game streak starting at quarterback will finally be over? The Dallas Cowboys are a 6-point favorite against the Jacksonville Jaguars despite winning only 1 game this year. How is that possible? I don't understand it. John Kitna is the quarterback. Tony Romo might not play the whole season. This team is in disarray, and I would tell you they would win if they have a good head coach, but they have a terrible head coach. And the Jaguars are going to win this game. I don't care if it's David Garrard or Trent Edwards. It's Maurice Jones-Drew, and that's going to be the winning factor for the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. That's my upset pick of the week. The Panthers traveled to face the St. Louis Rams. The Panthers came off their first win of the season, coming back to beat the 49ers. But 4 of their next 6 games are on the road. That's not good for a team that's still trying to find its identity. The St. Louis Rams look great. They lost a heartbreaker in Tampa Bay on a last-minute drive, but I think they're going to hold on for the win this week against the Panthers. The Broncos were humiliated last week by the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders scored 59 points on them. I don't think the Raiders have scored that many points in, the last 10 years combined. What is wrong with the Broncos? This team doesn't play great defense. They don't run at all. But Kyle Orton is pretty good, and if there's ever a week for a bounce back, it is this week. The Broncos are going to play with a chip on their shoulder, and they are going to beat the 49ers, who are still, I don't know how Mike Singletary says, going to make the playoffs, but they are still going to be a 1-win team at the end of Week 8. The Buffalo Bills showed us some incredible things last week when they took a Ravens team to the brink and lost in overtime. They scored over 30 points against one of the best defenses in the league. But let's be honest, the Ravens didn't really look like they prepared very well, and the Bills shocked them by opening up so successfully. I think this week, when Buffalo travels to Arrowhead to play Kansas City, there's no way the Bills are going to be able to shock the Chiefs in the same way. The Chiefs' coaching staff is a little bit better, they'll be prepared, and the Chiefs don't lose in the new Arrowhead. The Chiefs are going to keep it rolling with a win. The Miami Dolphins are traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals this week. Miami is coming off a heartbreaking loss. They lost on a disputed call when Ben Roethlisberger fumbled in or around the end zone, and the referees couldn't decide who came up with the ball. But Miami is a better team than Cincinnati. Cincinnati came back to tie the game against the Falcons last week, but they fell apart. Miami, they're not going to fall apart. They run the ball well. They'll be a good team. Over the course of this year, they play in a strong division. They have a difficult record, but the Dolphins are going to win this week. The Redskins play the Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored in this game, despite winning only 1 game. The Redskins-Chicago Bears game last week was one of the worst football games I have ever seen. Yet the Redskins were able to win, which says this team isn't that bad, because when you play that bad and you still come out with a win, you're not a bad team. I think the Redskins are going to get the win against the Lions. It'll be close, but I think the Redskins are going to win. The Green Bay Packers are traveling to play the New York Jets. The Packers came off a big win at home against the Minnesota Vikings, but the Jets have a bye week to prepare for this game, and the bye week comes at a critical time. Hopefully Darrelle Revis, the Jets cornerback, can become fully healthy, and I expect the Jets to be able to go and win this game against the Green Bay Packers. The Tennessee Titans are underdogs against the San Diego Chargers because the Chargers play so well at home. The Chargers almost stole a game from the Patriots in which they played terrible with 2 completely unforced turnovers and then a penalty that made a field goal 5 yards larger, and the field goal ended up hitting the upright. So what is with the San Diego team? When will they stop shooting themselves in the foot? I don't think it'll be this week. I think Tennessee runs well on a Chargers defense that is really, really good, but I think the Titans are going to get it done. Randy Moss travels back to New England for the Minnesota Vikings to play the New England Patriots. It'll be an exciting game, and you know Randy Moss wants to show New England something about why they should have valued him more. I think he catches a big touchdown in this game, but I think the way that the New England Patriots are playing on offense is going to improve this week against a terrible Vikings secondary. Brady always plays well against teams with cover 2 schemes, and the Vikings are not going to have an answer. I expect him to go over 300 yards with several scores, and the New England Patriots are going to win this game walking away, whether Brett Favre plays or not. The Seattle Seahawks are playing the Oakland Raiders, and people are wondering if last week's outburst on offense by the Raiders is a sign of things to come. Well, I'm not sure, but I do know the Raiders did figure out something. Darren McFadden said he was only 70% last week, and he scored 4 touchdowns. If he's 100% this week, what could that mean? I don't know. I think the game is going to be closer, but the Raiders might be moving in the right direction. I'm still giving the Seahawks the win, but I think this will be a close game. The Buccaneers battle the Cardinals in a matchup of 2 young quarterbacks between Max Hall and Josh Freeman. Josh Freeman is a little better, showing that he can lead his team on a game-winning scoring drive, which he did last week to beat St. Louis. Arizona hasn't looked great so far this year, and I don't think their defense is going to be able to stop the Bucs. The Bucs' schedule isn't very hard, and they keep getting handed games that they can win, and they keep not making mistakes with winnable games. The Bucs are going to win again this week. The Steelers won again last week, and they are, in my opinion, the NFL's best team. So why aren't they favored against the New Orleans Saints? Maybe Vegas thinks the Saints will play with a chip on their shoulder this week after being humiliated by the Browns. But honestly, I don't think it matters. Last week I said the Steelers would squeak out a win at the end of the 4th quarter, and that's what they did. And I think they'll do the same this week because good teams win when it matters. The Steelers are a good team, and they're going to get this win on the road in New Orleans. And finally, for the Monday Nighter, the AFC South is a 3-horse race between the Titans, the Colts, and the Houston Texans. And 2 of those teams are going to be playing each other this Monday night. The Houston Texans are traveling to Indianapolis to play the Colts, and the Colts have to be angry after losing Week 1 against the Texans. I think Peyton Manning, despite the injuries on the Indianapolis team, will be able to come out and win. Reggie Wayne will have a big week. They did have a bye to prepare both teams, so I expect it to be good, solid, well-schemed football, but I think the Colts are just a better team right now than the Houston Texans. Thanks for watching. This week, the chicken from Chick-fil-A is going to get a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. It wasn't that great, but it's certainly convenient, and the waffle fries are delicious. Tune in next week. Enjoy football. Damn, that chicken was good.